This week, the Conservative Party elected their fourth Prime Minister in 6 years, with the British Foreign Minister Liz Truss defeating former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak by gaining 57% of the Conservative membership. The new Prime Minister's first task as the Prime Minister has been to lead the nation in mourning after the death of the 8th decade reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth took the throne in 1953, when the British Empire emerged from World War II and when the US and the Soviet Union were the new global powers. While successive British governments tried to keep Britain involved in global affairs, the House of Windsor tried to keep the monarchy relevant in a changing world. Going forward, the monarchy and the nation's government face many strategic issues. The unity of the United Kingdom is now at stake as Scotland looks to secede from the Union. Britain's departure from the EU has not been the utopia that was promised, and with the passing of Queen Elizabeth, who for long was seen as the monarch itself, this medieval institute will have its work cut out, keeping itself relevant in the modern world. Finance ministers from the G7 have announced they plan to implement a price cap on Russian oil. The idea of the price cap is to limit Russia's profits from the oil sales, which are higher now than before the war, while keeping the oil on the global market so prices don't increase. The plan relies on compliance from China and India, who have become major buyers of Russian oil in the wake of the Western sanctions campaign. China and India are already purchasing Russian oil at a discount and have little reason to rock the boat with Moscow. Russia hit back by warning that it would retaliate against any plan to place a price cap on Russian oil. Russian President Vladimir Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, announced on September the 5th that natural gas supplies to Europe via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline will not resume in full until the collective West lifts sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. If Russia cuts further energy production, global prices could soar to astronomical levels, experts and analysts have said. Analysts at JP Morgan Chase said that if Russia reduces oil output by 3 million barrels per day, it would bring prices up to $190 per barrel. At least 30 people were killed and 700 wounded in clashes in Baghdad, marking the bloodiest episode of unrest the Iraqi capital has seen in recent years. The violence erupted after Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr unexpectedly announced that he was stepping down from politics, prompting confusion and anger among his millions of followers. In Baghdad, al-Sadr's supporters took to the streets, where they clashed with supporters of the rival groups. The clashes come amid tensions between al-Sadr's supporters and the pro-Iran Shia Coordination Framework (SCF) over efforts to form a government following October 2021 elections. Sadrists won the most seats, but not enough seats to unilaterally form a government. Their rivals within the SCF won the second largest number of seats in the election, which they've since used to block the formation of a Sadrist government, leaving Iraq lodged in a political crisis for nearly a year. The UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights released a much-delayed 46-page report on the Chinese government's human rights abuses against Uyghurs and other minority peoples in the countries of Western Xinjiang region. The report concludes that China has committed crimes against humanity in Xinjiang, including arbitrary imprisonment and torture of detainees, systematic repression of the Uyghur and other minority groups' religions. Though the report concludes that a litany of crimes against humanity was committed during the period under investigation, it falls short of alleging genocide. With the weight of the United Nations behind it, the report could prompt renewed legislative action and sanctions against China from countries in the West, where the atrocities highlighted in the document have already elicited a windfall of negative media attention. China has for long oppressed the people of Xinjiang region.